In episode 2, we called out the Citrini research article where it was a kind of doom scenario of what AI would do to the world and how AI would change the world, and then how everyone will become broke and companies will die and the economy will be crushed. But now, 3 weeks later, we're seeing a lot of results already of that, and I call it a bit of the AI disruption, maybe the anthropic disruption. But yesterday or 2 days ago, Google announced, for example, Google Stitch, which is basically a visual designer where anyone can design something with just prompting. Then Anthropic has done a bunch of announcements which disrupted different industries. Here on the slide, if you're watching, you can see that the biggest drawdown in software stocks was $830 billion was wiped away in 6 days' time with just AI announcements. The biggest daily drawdown or wipeout was 285 billion on February 3rd. I feel like this is basically maybe the bottom of this the SaaS apocalypse that they call it. But there is a bunch of different industries being touched here. As you can see, Thomas Reuters minus 18%. I think this is legal. There's a bunch of other tools. Adobe, the CEO, resigned after 18 years because being disrupted by AI. What we assume, Salesforce down big time. IBM down thanks to a Claude announcement. Figma is down 79% from its IPO. Was down 8% on the news of Google announcing Google Stitch. And then the last one, Meta, who invested 83 billion in their metaverse project or VR project, is now writing this off and is going to continue investing in Meta. Because I guess focusing more on AI expansion. So this is the AI disruption that just keeps on going, and every week there is a new story of these. I'm surprised what is next. But last week we also discussed the potential of where AI has the biggest potential to be adopted and to grow. Guys, what's your thoughts here? Is this just the beginning, or have we seen the biggest losses already?
Yeah, no, I think this is probably going to continue, right? But I mean, I think there's just going to be a dispersion, I think, between the companies that are basically just SaaSes. So the DocuSigns, the Atlassians, most of the companies on this slide, versus the other ones where, Block and they still have product market fit. It's not necessarily just a SaaS product, right? There's more going on there. But companies like that, they can leverage AI to get really profitable. So I think we're going to kind of see a chasm between like two different types of companies here. The other thing I'll say is that the Meta thing, it's in its own category, right? That wasn't AI disruption. That was just a fundamentally wrong bet on human behavior. The virtual world, that required people to change how they wanted to interact with reality. Whereas agents, they don't require that. They work within the world as it already is. So yeah, like the same week, I think Stripe launched an MPP, right, which is an agent kind of protocol for payments. And there were like tons of other releases that kind of, I'd say propelled and excelled other companies that we're seeing. Like we're not necessarily seeing, I don't know, like Block is still performing well, and like there are tons of other companies out there that I think are not going to necessarily be hit by this AI wave or the SaaS apocalypse like you said, but it is interesting. I think it's going to continue.
It's going to continue. Yes, I mean, I was just when
Yeah.
it was on this topic, I was thinking of something slightly different, really, and more from the lens that the more people use the AI technology in their day-to-day work, the more people are going to start adopting it. I mean, I was at a Lovable event on Women's Day, and there was a kid, and I sat down with this kid for 2 hours, and together with him, we vibe coded an entire video game, and this is an 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid. So it's like I feel privileged to understand and have adopted this technology before the next wave of people. But I do feel like there's only a matter of time before everyone is using the tools. So then it's like, I guess if everyone's more efficient, then more people there's going to be less or more need for them.